Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek and welcome to episode, 148 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And this time we're doing something a bit special. We're doing Paranormal Activity 1 and 2. Hang on. But not in the 1 and 2 order or whatever. We're doing them, we're watching, we're going through Paranormal Activity 2 first, mostly, and then Paranormal Activity because they overlap. Paranormal Activity 2 is kind of a prequel to Paranormal Activity 1. So we're watching them in chronological order. So that should be fun. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube and Rumble and Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. But we're live on all those things. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. Except I'm not wearing it. I forgot. Never mind. And my books, there they are. Amazon Kindle and paperback, give them a whirl. What else? My other websites and my other channels and stuff like that. Become a member on YouTube, and then you get early access videos and exclusive videos and emojis in the chat. Join us in the live chat if you're a subscriber. And all that stuff, and super chats and super thanks were greatly appreciated. Right, so Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 2. I once wondered about doing Paranormal Activity 3 as well, because they're all interconnected, but I didn't go that far. It'd been too long, wouldn't it? But anyway, Windgrace is here saying ghost, except it's not ghost in Paranormal Activity. It's a demon, isn't it? Called Toby, except we don't find out that until the third one. That's what the kids call it, anyway. Where were we? Paranormal Activity 2. The brainchild of Oren Pelly. I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go. Brainchild of Oren Pelly, who would go on. I don't know. How much is he worth now? Was he rich before this? I don't know. He's an Israeli filmmaker. I'm going to type in Oren Pelly net worth. I don't know if it were. I think it were. He did okay, didn't he? But he made this film for next to note. I forgot how to spell it now. Oren Pelly net worth. Let's have a look and see what it says. 30 million his net worth now. I bet he wasn't that before. Anyway, it was his brainchild. It was filmed in his house. He got the idea from when a box of detergent fell off a shelf in his house, and he says it couldn't have just fallen off naturally. He said it was too far back and all that, so straight to ghost, as somebody says in Paranormal Activity 2. And that gave him, the idea for doing a film about it. So he did Paranormal Activity, filmed it in, I think, about 10 days, 7 to 10 days, in his own house, which he did change some stuff in his house. I think he basically redecorated his house and made it look nice on film. I think he got a new bed as well, because we see the bed a lot in this film. And basically, it was shot for like $15,000 over about 10 days. I think the actors in it, Katie Featherston and Mika Sloat, who used the real names in the first one and the second one, were paid like $500 for their week's work. I imagine they got a lot more afterwards. But anyway, and it was snapped up by Paramount for $300,000. I think Steven Spielberg had an idea about the ending, so they changed the ending. The original ending was different, which we'll get to. And it was so successful. How much did it gross? We'll say 200 million. It was just under 200 million at the box office, off a $15,000 production budget. Although post-production and I presume advertising probably added a lot to that. There's a $200,000 for post-production. I bet most of that went on the alternative ending. But anyway, $200 million it made. So obviously a sequel was announced, which was not Paranormal Activity 2, because I think before that, Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Nights came out, which I have got somewhere, but I don't know where I've put it. Which was a Japanese film based as a sequel, but in Japan for Paranormal Activity. It does mention the events of the first one, but then they decided to do their own Paranormal Activity 2, and so erased that one from existence. and that ended up being a prequel mostly. So we'll get into that. We're going to go through it, review it. I'll give me thoughts about it and any notes I have. Wingress says, I'll take 1 million, please and thank you. Yes, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. So I'm going to go through it. Obviously not going to watch it. This is my own edit, by the way, that I edited it together, so apologies in advance. No subtitles for us to look at. Unfortunately, I didn't bother with the subtitle track. Too much hard work. But anyway. So we'll go through it in a series of stills, because if I just play it, YouTube will go mental. Paranormal Activity, I found, is not on streaming. I couldn't find it on streaming. It's not on Amazon. It's not on, in the UK anyway. It's not on YouTube. But it is in America. If you want to watch it on streaming in America, fair enough. In the UK, you have no chance. I think it's that way around. Hang on, have I got it right? Let me check. Just let me check a moment. It's in the description, but I've got to check my description. Where have I put the blooming thing? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. Rent or buy, Amazon Prime US and YouTube US. Yes, you can't get it in the UK for some reason. I'm guessing that's a rights thing. I don't know. But Paranormal Activity 2, fine. You can get them to stream. Or you can get them on. I've got the DVDs. I imagine they are on Blu-ray as well. I think the only Blu-ray I've got of Paranormal Activity is, I can't remember. They're over there somewhere. But anyway, I love this series. Apart from the last one, Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, which was absolute garbage. It was terrible. Nothing to do with the rest of the series. No idea. They were just cashing in on the name Paranormal Activity. And it were rubbish. But the rest of the films I do really enjoy. The other 5. Paranormal Activity 2. If you include Tokyo Nights, then Paranormal Activity 2, then 3, then 4, then the marked ones, and then Ghost Dimensions. There's 7. Bloody 7 altogether. But they're fun. Anyway, right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? I'll pop myself down in the corner. And we shall begin. Oh, don't need to bother with that, do we? Because we've no subtitles to look at, so I can keep this like, subscribe, share, comment, links in description bit on. Right, so there we go. We shall begin. Oh, for Pete's sake, Steve, what are you playing at? Right, here we go. Off we jolly well go. It'll just come on. Even though it's a Paramount release, you don't see the Paramount Mountain until the end, the very end. But yeah, Paramount Pictures would like to thank the families of the deceased and the Carlsbad and San Diego Police Departments, because this is a found footage film. It's the film that revitalised the found footage genre. Remember, way back in '99, we had Blair Witch Project. There had been found footage type films before. 1980s, Cannibal Holocaust, which I've only seen a couple of times, and it's not an easy watch, I'll tell you that for nothing. But there have been others. But this rejuvenated the genre, and I love found footage films if they're done well. This is an example of a found footage film done well. A lot of them, particularly the studio ones, they seem to forget that they're making a found footage film, and so you get like loads of camera angles from all these when you're thinking, where are they filming this from? But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so off we go. We begin in Carlsbad, California. It takes place in the first part of the film. I can't remember the names of the bloody characters. The first part of the film is about the Ray family. Christy Ray, husband Daniel, she's his second wife, her stepdaughter, Ali. Christy is the sister of Katie Featherston from the first film, and we start off at the Ray family, and I'm guessing sometime in 2005, because she's bringing home. By the way, they're quite well off. They're bringing home their baby. Apologies for the quality, by the way. It's like DVD quality. I can't do anything about it. And it's found footage, so there's a lot of shaky camera. But here we go. They're bringing home the baby called Hunter from the hospital. There's Christy, played by Sprague Graydon. It is a peculiar name, isn't it? And again, apologies for the quality. That's Daniel. See if I can find it. not going to get much better, is it? Brian Bolland plays Daniel Ray. Molly Ephraim plays Ali. Katie Featherston as Katie. Micah Sloat as Micah. Or is it Mika? Mika, isn't it? And various other people. Nobody I've heard of. She looks familiar. I've seen her in something, and I don't know what I've seen. What have I seen? Let's look. Let's see what I've seen her in. She does look familiar. I've seen her on TV, I'm sure I have, in something. But when I think of the name Sprague, if that's how it's pronounced, I've no idea. I always think of Firefox with Mr. Leo Sprague. They've killed him. They've killed Mr. Leo Sprague. I always think of that. She were in Jericho, which I've not seen. She were in John Doe, which I've not seen. She were in 24. Right, that might be where I've seen her. So she were in that. That might be where I've seen her. Where else has she been in? She's done a lot of TV, but not stuff I generally watch. But anywho, yeah, I probably remember her from 24. That's probably where I've seen her face before. Anyway, so here she is. She's bringing home the baby from the hospital. That's their housemaid. I've forgotten. What am I like? I've only just bloody finished watching it. Martine, played by Vivis Cortez. You can see there's a photo there on the wall of Katie and Mika. But anyway, they're bringing home the baby from the hospital. So I'm guessing this is 2005 because there's a time jump. But it doesn't tell us. But suddenly the newborn baby, and then suddenly the baby's like, I don't know, 18 months old, going on for 2. It's just about a toddler, just about. We seem toddling about by the end of the film, so maybe it's 2004. Who knows? But there he is, newborn. They're all cooing over him. There's the dog, Abby, their German Shepherd. They're showing us around the house. They're saying, "This is your room, Hunter." There we go. Wonder if the fans of wrestling, wonder if they named it after Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a.k.a. Triple H, a.k.a. Paul Levesque. I don't know, but anyway. But anywho, that's Ali, who is Daniel's daughter from his first marriage. So Christie's stepdaughter. She does most of the filming, by the way, because it's found footage. They've got to find an excuse for them to be filming everything, and most of the stuff that is moving about is stuff that she's filming. Don't know why. She just likes doing it. She never gives us a reason. She never says, "Oh, I'm filming all this for posterity." She just does. She just films it. And there's security cameras later. Here's as I don't know if this is the first clue as to the spooky goings on, but the front door's left open, or is it an homage to Shaun of the Dead? I don't know. But anyway, so it's still showing us around the house. Now go there, the baby crying his eyes out, and then he's not, and they're all saying, "Oh, gorgeous baby," and anyway, and then suddenly, by the way, Katie arrives, the sister, the older sister of Christy. So she arrives. The lovely Katie Featherston. She's both these sisters are very attractive, in my opinion. But anyway, in the normal sort of way, they're not glamorously attractive, are they? Naturally. Anyway, barbecue time. There we are. They're all on the barbecue. As I said, both families are quite well off. We learn that Katie and Christie's family are rich. Don't know why, but we learn that they are. There's a suggestion that they made a deal with the devil to become rich at some point in the past, one of their ancestors. But Daniel's quite well off because he owns, I think it's a McDonald's franchise. It's either McDonald's or Burger King. It is mentioned, but I can't remember which one. But he owns one of those, so he's financially well off. That's Ali's boyfriend, whose name I can't remember. Anyway, I think in this part here, I think she's saying she's the aunt, but she's saying I'm not the evil aunt, but I could be the evil aunt. This is like a little nod to what's going to happen later. There's Ali. In the pool, there's Daniel playing with the pool cleaner, which becomes a character in its own right later. There, suddenly, bang, Hunter is a toddler with jug ears and everything. But bless him. So I'm guessing like nearly 2 years must have passed. It must have done. Unless it's a Klingon and he grows up really quickly. I don't know. But anywho, hopefully we're still going. I'm going to check, because we've had problems with StreamYards recently. I've noticed other people have been having problems with StreamYards, so I'm just going to check and make sure everything is okay before I carry on. So just bear with me. You might hear my voice. I'm going to check and make sure everything is okay. Yes, it is. I'm not cutting out. Right. Where were we? Anyway, so there we go. Yes, that's it now. Another time jump. As I said, I don't know exactly when. It starts showing us dates eventually. I think it's supposed to be August 2006. Most of this takes place in. But suddenly the house is ransacked. They've come home from the being out as a family. Maybe they've been on holiday. I don't know. But they've come home and the house is ransacked. But nothing's been stolen, apart from a necklace that Katie gave to Christy. I don't think we ever see the necklace, but that's the only thing that's been stolen, unless you watch Paranormal Activity 3 and they show this scene again, ish, and we learn that a box of videotapes were also stolen that belonged to their mother. Was no longer with us, I don't think. Of them as kids, and that's the footage for Paranormal Activity 3. But they don't mention that here, because obviously they didn't know when they made this. I was going to edit that bit in as well at one point, but I couldn't be bothered. Hunter's room is not touched. So there's a suggestion that the cult has broken in. If you watch the Paranormal Activity films, it turns out it's like a cult of like demon worshippers and witches and stuff like that want to bring forth this demon from the ghost dimension, and it's like they've broken in and taken the necklace, which must have some meaning. Maybe it comes back later on in the series. I honestly can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched them all. And the box of videotapes, but they are down in the basement. And something's peed in the corner. They say, was it the dog? Was it Abby? But I don't. Is it a suggestion that they've done it? These cult members or whoever broke in. Anyway, right. So they've got to tidy up. They're all saying, "Oh, isn't it horrible? His house has been broken into." Anyway, so he calls in a security firm. They're going to fit cameras everywhere. So we're going to see lots of security camera footage now. By the way, the budget, as I said, the budget for the first film, which we're not watching the second film first. Anyway, the budget for the first film, as I said, we'll call it $215,000 in total, not including marketing. The second, this one, the second one we're watching now, the budget of $3 million, but it still did really well at the box office. What did this one do at the box office? 177.5 million. So it did nearly as well as the first one, didn't it? So horror films generally do well compared to their budget. Anyway, it's telling them there what cameras they're going to do, what they're going to point at, and everything. And so they're getting all set up. Here we go. There he is, putting the camera on, just like RoboCop. Right. So this view becomes an establishing shot for the film, where they show the dates and stuff, night 1, August, whatever, 2006. There's their pool. There's Abby playing with the pool cleaner. They've got I don't know what they call them. I don't know. A little pool, a heated pool there. I don't know what they call them. Like a jacuzzi. I've no idea. But they're well off. I think where was this filmed? I've forgotten now. Let me check. Hey, I haven't got it up. Never mind. As the actress said to the bishop. It's filmed somewhere it's supposed to be Carlsbad, California, isn't it? So is that near San Diego? I have no idea. Let me look. I know there's caverns, isn't there, at Carlsbad? Carlsbad City in California. There we go. Where is it? I'm going to have to look it up on the map, aren't I? It's going to show us here. Where is it? Yes, it's near San Diego. Yes, it is. Yes. San Diego is down near the Mexican border, isn't it? That's the yes. It's the lowest one in California, the lowest city, nearest the Mexican border. You've got San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco going up, aren't you? Anyway, so these are near San Diego. Right, so here we go. This is the kitchen. There's Ali getting. She drinks a lot of orange juice in this film. Every time she's in the kitchen, she's drinking orange juice. Not that you can see, but there, she's drinking orange juice. And Quest is here saying, hello, Quest. Where have you been? Have you been busy? I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Or just over a week. Anyway, so stuff's not up. Basic stuff we're seeing. Right, here we go. Night 1, August 7th, 2006. It's where stuff starts happening, but not really. Things start off slowly, as they do in the other film as well, which we'll get to later. As I said, we're doing them back to front, because chronologically, Paranormal Activity 2 happens before Paranormal Activity 1. And maybe we'll see things, I don't know, but I've watched these films loads of times, but I've never really gone through them with the pause button to see if there's things in the background. Anyway, there he is, locking the door. Is Daniel. The dog is in the kids' room. There he is. So the lights go out. Yes, because we hear crickets and stuff, and then all the lights go out, as though something spooky is happening. They all go quiet. Maybe it's UFOs. Who knows? Anyway, next day, you see the pool cleaners out of the pool. That's, pardon me, a mystery for a while. I don't know why that keeps happening. Daniel just keeps coming and chucking it back in. It'd be nice to have a pool, wouldn't it? Questa said I had broadband issues. I had broadband issues this morning. My internet went off. I thought, oh my God. But it came back on again, thank goodness. Sunspots. See, the sunspots are 3-eye atlas that's coming. Anyway, there you can see Abby the dog scratching at the cellar door, the basement door, whatever you want to call it. Because that's where the evil lurks, down in the cellar, basement, whatever. Right, here's the super fast-growing hunter going up the stairs. There he is, we're following him. We get another example of spookiness happening. Oh, does she just catch his leg? She picks him up out of the chair, and they've got to move away. Oh, but the chair falls over as though a ghost or demon or spirit or string moved it. But anyway, she's like, oh, what happened there? So she thinks nothing of it. As I said, it starts off slowly. Anyway, Martine's doing something with peppers because she's Mexican. And Mexicans always do things with peppers. I'm not a peppers fan. I don't hate them or anything, but I'd just rather not. Not that many, anyway. But anyway. So you're watching chronological order? Yes, it's my own edit. We're watching Paranormal Activity 2, then we go into the first one, and then we end with the end of Paranormal Activity 2, because they overlap, don't they? So we learned that Martine is a very spiritual woman who doesn't speak much English. I don't know if she's got a green card or whatever, but as I said, we're near the Mexican border. Maybe they should phone ICE or whatever. But we learned that she's very spiritual, so she knows all about spirits and good spirits and bad spirits and all that stuff. So anyway, so playing with the baby, all happy families and stuff. There we go, all having fun. Is this the bit with somebody's had a big dump? Yes, they have. She screams, does Ali, and they're all running upstairs with the camcorders. And somebody's had a big, massive dump in the toilet. Is it a demon dump? I don't know. We never know the culprit. And it doesn't actually show it, thank goodness. Just keep her away from your sage. She does some saging later on, and it gets her fired. We'll see later on. Anyway. Christy's having a bath. They're all talking, about doing it in the bathtub. We learn that Katie's coming over to babysit because they're going out. But there you go, naughtiness. Right, night 2, August 8th, 2006. Pool cleaner's doing its thing. It'll end up outside the pool by morning. Are we getting a glimpse of stuff happening? I don't know. Can't remember. These pots and pans move about and stuff like that, but I don't think we're seeing anything. At one point, we see a shadow go up this wall, but I think it's much later, I think. I missed it on my watch through today. But anyway, there's Katie with young Hunter. Anyway, so there we are. Next morning, they're having bacon, crispy bacon and sausages. I'm a bit pecky. I could just eat a full English breakfast, even though I had one for my breakfast. But with no bread, because I'm watching me figure. There's Hunter eating his Cheerios. There we go. They're all happy families again. I like Katie Featherston. I do. I don't know why. A couple of reasons. Anyway, there they are eating bacon. And I've been all fun and games. There's Mika. I presume he's come to pick up Katie, even though she's got her own car. But whatever. Maybe he babysat with her as well. I have no idea. It's still all happy families. Right, so they're still all playing. We see that young Hunter is obsessed with a certain part of his bedroom. He starts freaking out a little bit. But anyway. But everything's still okay. What's happening here? Where's she going? I think she's going out. Yes, Ali's going out. She's with. We hear a bang. That was it. She's on the couch with Hunter. They just hear a bang, and she goes to check it out. And I can't remember if. No, I don't think we see what happens. We just hear it. Cumberland's or Lincolnshire? Neither. I just want regular sausages. I've said this to my mate before. We once had a deep conversation about sausages. I'm not one of these people that likes flavoured sausages. I just want a good old, just a regular pork sausage. Not with any flavour in it, not with any herbs and spices. Just the taste of a pork sausage. Anyway, nice chipolata. That'll do for me. Ooh, I have reached my target of steps. Yay. Anyway, right, where were we? She's coming up, checking, seeing what the source of the bang was, because it was quite a loud bang. But we don't see anything. But we do get another glimpse of the stuff happening. She looks round, but when she's in the bathroom, there we go, we see that the mobile starts to move by itself. Not a draft. There's no drafts in this. What's wrong with a nice juicy venison sausage? I don't know. You tell me. I once had venison. I want a fan, to be honest. I'm mangy. I'm mangy. And I don't think I've ever had a beef sausage either. Pork sausages should be made of pork. Anyway, that's by the by. So anyway, the mobile's moving by itself, but nobody notices. It's little things. What we up to? Night 3, August 9th. By the way, I've added a deleted scene that isn't in the actual film that's on the DVD later on. But I think that's night 9, I think it is. Anyway, right, so what's happening now? Is this where we'll see the shadow going up the stairs? No, it isn't. Hunter's up, look. The dog about. No, there's no dog about. He's talking to somebody in the corner of the room. Is there somebody there? Don't know. Oh, you can't see. Maybe you can. I don't know. There's kind of a shadow there that you don't see in the daytime, and I don't know what's casting it. Is it supposed to something that's there in the reflected in the mirror? Sometimes this rocking chair rocks by itself. I don't know if it's going to do it today. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Anyway, so he's talking to somebody in the room. There's Daniel putting the pool cleaner back in. Anyway, yes, she's going through a photo album. And we learned that there's no photos of her or her sister as kids. But then suddenly this one appears, which is a photo of Katie. We actually see this photo being taken in Paranormal Activity 3. And it turns up again in Paranormal Activity 1. It turned up first in Paranormal Activity 1, and now we're seeing it as a regular photo. It gets burnt. But anyway, she says, how did this get in here? I didn't think anything had survived the fire, because we learned they had a fire in their first house when they were kids. Which I don't think you see in Paranormal Activity 3. No, you don't see the house burn down. I don't think you do, anyway. Anywho, we see that Martine looks a bit concerned. She can sense that something's up. She hands the photo back. She knows something is amiss. Night 4, August 10th. Pool cleaner doing its stuff. Is this the one we see the pots and pans move about by themselves? Maybe not. Just the bit where we see the shadow. No, it isn't the bit where we see the shadow. I can't remember. It must be near the end. Anyway, right, so did something happen then? Oh, did that mirror move? I'd never noticed that before. Right, just let me play it. I'm going to play it with audio. That mirror does something, doesn't it? I never noticed it before. Now, we hear the rumbling. I'll just pause it. Usually when the Paranormal Activity begins, you hear like a rumbling sound. That's telling us that something's going to happen. So let's see what happens. Is there a bang? I can't remember. No, that mirror's warped or something, hasn't it? And then it goes back to normal. You know what? I have seen this film loads of times. I've never actually noticed that before. Because it's over in the corner. The shadow looks different as well, doesn't it, out the window? And I've never actually noticed that before. I've just heard the noise and not paid attention to what's happening with this mirror warping. Obviously the dog doesn't notice, neither does Hunter. There we go. The wonders of pausing. Anyway. The shadow in the mirror next to the cot. Where we're looking? Over here. I don't know, is that just the corner of the room, or is it a person standing there? Could be a person standing there, or is it just, I think it might be a bit of pareidolia, because there's a lamp there, isn't there, that kind of looks like there's a figure. Is that what you mean? We're going all Ghost Watch, aren't we now? I will do that one day, Ghost Watch. Anyway, it looks like there's like two people looking in the window, doesn't it? But anyway, maybe there is. Who knows? Right, next day. The dog's back at the cellar door. Look, cellar door is supposed to be the most beautiful word in the English language, but what does it mean? I don't know. I got that from Donnie Darko. Drew Barrymore said that, didn't she? It's also an album by Magnum. It's got its arm on the cot. See, I'm going to have to go back now. Right, let's have a look. Hey, you mean that there? I think it's a bit of pareidolia, but you could be right. Who knows? As I said, it kind of does look like a figure, but I don't know. You know what? Let's say it is. What the bloody hell was that? Did you hear that? Some sort of scream outside. Anyway, where were we? They made the dog bark. Right, so he's barking at the cellar door, basement door, whatever you want to call it. Martine and Ali are having a little chat and then do some dancing. Look, there we go. It's all fun and games. They don't really know anything's wrong yet. We've seen stuff happening. They don't really know about it yet. Night 5. Pool cleaner doing its stuff. What's happening here? We're going to see the shadow going up the wall yet? No, not yet. Hunter's asleep, obviously. The dog's got his eye on summit. As I said, I think it's just the corner of the room, because it's there again. Look, I think we see it all the time. What we're looking at, it's this corner, isn't it? It's over here that there's nothing there, but anyway, whatever. What are you screaming? Or are you making somebody scream? What are you doing that up my street? I know we all live next door to each other in the UK. Made you look, he says. Anyway, right, so what's going on here? Because I've forgotten. Do we hear a noise? Do we hear another bang? I can't remember. Let's have a listen. Yes, I think we're hearing banging noises and commotion, but it's not super loud. It makes Martine come to check, and she's having a look round, and I think something gives her the willies. Yeah, she goes to check on Hunter. Are they out again? Her parents, Hunter's parents. Have they gone out again? They're never in. So she's obviously babysitting. Yes, this is the bit where she does the saging and gets fired for it because she's got Hunter in her arms and she's going round. There we go, doing the saging. And that's when they come in and say, "What are you bloody doing? What's that smell?" And they take the kid off her, obviously. And he fires her the next morning. He says, "Look, I don't want you doing this stuff." So he's wafting the smell of sage out of the house. I've no idea what sage smells like because I've never done it. Anyway, so here he is. He's firing her. But he says he'll give her a good. It says recommendation. What would we call it here? Reference. We call it a reference over here, don't we? But he's booting her out. Look, I think she lived with them as well. So I presume she's got somewhere to go. Is that a taxi? I don't know. Or is he going to take her somewhere? I don't know. Back across the border, kick her back over the Rio Grande. But anyway. So Christy's filming the kid. There we go. And he's not paying attention to her. He's looking up at something in the corner. Again, in the mirror. Remember the mirror we saw warp? Which I saw for the first time. I've lost count how many times I've watched this film. But anyway. If I hadn't paused it, and gone backwards and forwards like that, pausing it, I would never have noticed that warping. It's against the law to give a bad reference anyway. I wouldn't know. I've never been an employer. Maybe it isn't in America. I have no idea. But, you just say, "No, I won't give them a reference." That's like giving them a bad reference, isn't it? But anyway. Right, so she's telling Daniel about, we were more interested in something in the corner of the room, not paying attention to me. There's Ali doing the toenails. Oh, actually, Daniel's checking out his night vision for later in the film. But anyway, so there we go. Oh, she's saying, "Why did you have to fire Martine? She wasn't doing any harm." And he says, "Well, I'm not having all that stuff happening in this house." He said, "Well, she wasn't doing any harm. It made her feel better. But don't worry, they get her back later when the shit hits the fan." Keeps teasing her with the night vision. Right, night 8, August 14th, 2006. Pool cleaner still doing its thing. Now then, is this where we're going to see some shenanigans? What time is it? 2:43 a.m. Don't know. I keep thinking that's a figure in the corner over there. It's like somebody stood there, doesn't it? That is a prime example of pareidolia. It's not somebody. It's just a shadow. Is this where we see the shadow going up the wall? No, it didn't. Right, never mind. Now then, Hunter's awake, doing his stuff. Christy goes in and checks on him. She's looking out the window, and we see stuff happening. And when she puts him back in the cot, she keeps looking in the. The door moves behind her. Look, by itself. When she puts Hunter back in his cot, she sets his mobile going. She looks out the window and gets a shock. We get a jump scare. You ready? Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. It's a bird. A bird has hit the window. Which we see tomorrow. Is that with the shadow going? No, still no shadow going up the stairs. Oh dear. It probably doesn't happen. I'm probably having a bloody Mandela effect. I know there's a shadow in the first one. If I remember rightly, says Quest, not that much happens until the dog gets hurt. Loads happens. Depends how you interpret it, doesn't it? Anyway, so here is the big rigmarole. She's saying, "Don't pick it up with your hands." So he goes and gets a pair of bloody barbecue tongs. Why don't you just use the bag to pick it up with? Anyway, so there we go. Puts the dead bird, well, wasn't dead when it flew into the window, but killed itself flying into the window. So, poor bird. Here's Hunter playing. Because he's playing with Ali, I think, and he goes running off. So she goes running after him. She pops the baby monitor down. There it is, and the camera as well just happens to be pointed at the baby monitor. But then we hear spooky noises or interference or whatever. Oh, hang on. There we go. What's going on? Maybe it's aliens. Maybe it's the aliens from Signs. You could hear them on the baby monitor, couldn't you? Anyway, night. Oh, this is the. That's why the font's slightly different, because I added that bit. Night 9, August 15th. This is the deleted scene that's not in the film. Pool cleaner still doing its thing. Right, so it's 3:18. They're all asleep. Even Hunter, they're fast asleep. Then all the lights go out. I don't know what she's still doing up. It's 3:20 in the bloody morning. And Ali, what up? Because all the lights go out in the bedroom. What was she doing at 3:20 in the morning? He said, wasn't my son. Christ. At least he's got an excuse. He's playing games or whatever. She was just sat there. Anyway. So everybody gets up because the power's gone off in the middle of the night. You wouldn't notice, would you? You'd wake up in the morning and you'd need to reset your bloody alarm clock because it'd be flashing at you, wouldn't it? Anyway, they can't get into Hunter's room. They go check on Hunter. They can't get into his room because his cot's up against the bed, and then they get inside against the door, not the bed. And he's not there. Hunter's not there. Where is he? So they start searching the house, high and low. They can't find him. They're all freaking out. Turns out he's outside. Actually, goes and checks the pool. The swimming pool. Doing a bit of poltergeist. The swimming pool. But he's not in there, obviously. I find his teddy, because she thinks that's him, but it's his teddy. And it turns out he's out there in the middle of the road. It's not. I don't think it's the road, though, is it? Is it? Or is it like a driveway? Because I think they're quite well off, aren't they? But anyway, he's out there, so she goes to collect him. She's freaking out. Oh, my baby. Which you would. So anyway, so there we go. This is a deleted scene. They decided not to have this bit in because they're buggering off now. They're going to stay in a hotel for the night. They're thinking, that's it. We're going to stop in the hotel. We'll leave the house. But by itself... and this is where pots and pans start moving about by themselves. Hunter was out hunting. Maybe so. Hunter by name. Hunter by nature. Anyway, hang on. Right, so pool cleaner doing its stuff. Right, so next day they come back home. Pool cleaner's still in the pool. So nobody at home for them to worry about it. Right, so, it's just showing us the empty house. Nothing's happening because nobody's there. Night 10. It's a bit like the stone tape, isn't it? That's another one. I'll do that at Christmas. I'll do the stone tape at Christmas. Great TV movie from the BBC. Talking about ghosts and the stone tape. It's something that Nigel Neal basically made up, saying that places can record activities in the past. That's what some ghosts are like. Recordings of activities. And in the stone tape, it's like a maid going up some stairs and screaming and then just disappearing. And they say, does she appear when nobody's around, or has somebody got to be there to see her? That's what the stone tape's all about. Maybe that's what's happening here. If they're not in, the demon or whatever doesn't do anything, and we're going to see the shadow go up the stairs. No, we're not. Right, what time is it? It's 3:30. So, what happened here? Oh, that's a pot falls off, a pan falls off. I wonder what bloody going on then. There we go. With that dot. A pan falls off. So she goes... She would just happen to be checking on Hunter at the time. And goes to check out the pot falling. Looking out the window. And I think another one falls while she's there. Or maybe it's does she put the one back up and the same one falls off again? I think so. Hang on, let's go back again. Yes, she puts that one back up and then it falls off again. Obviously, her husband thinks you obviously didn't put it up right, and it just fell off again. But she goes running off screaming, upstairs. Again, apologies for the quality. It's DVD quality. Quest says, wasting all that electricity, leaving the pool and jacuzzi lights on. The rich, they don't care. There he's putting the pool cleaner back in. The dog's playing with it. Right, is Katie visiting again or not? Yes, she is. And there's Mika. Oh, yes. This is now where he says to Mika, apparently we've got a ghost. He says, a pot fell down and Christy went straight to ghost. Typical liberal household then. Yeah. So he says, Christy went straight to ghost. So they'll start talking about this, spooky stuff. But Katie doesn't want to talk about it for reasons that we'll get to later. Anyway, we're up to, do we have a night? There we go, night 11, August 17th. Pool cleaner doing its stuff. Time is it 12:52? I think this is the bit where the fire starts. Is it? Is this the bit where the fire starts? Hang on. Do we see a shadow going up the wall? No, not yet. Something's got the dog's attention because he knows the fire's going to start. There it is. I don't know what's on. There's a frying pan or something there. I don't know I don't know if it's popcorn or whatever, but there we go. It soon catches wherever the hell it is. Pretty soon we have a blazing inferno on the cooker. Don't they have any smoke detectors downstairs? I don't know, because we see smoke coming wafting up the stairs. There it comes. And then sets off the smoke alarm. Do they just have them upstairs in America? I don't know. Obviously so. Not in the kitchen. We've got one in our kitchen. One at the bottom of the stairs and one at the top of the stairs. But I say our houses are teeny tiny compared to American houses. Anyway, Daniel comes running down. There we go, grabs that, goes out, chucks it in the swimming pool. And here we see Ali and her boyfriend are in the hot tub part. So he's kicking off. He's saying, "Did you leave something on the stove?" And he says to the young lad, "You F off." Tell him to go home. He says, "No, I didn't do anything." So anyway, they're saying, the pot fell down. You didn't put it on right, and he doesn't believe any of it. But Christy thinks something's going on. Yes, and they watch the footage. They keep talking about the pool cleaners outside. On the side of the pool every morning. They can't explain how it's getting there. Anyway, it's being caught on the footage. Look, it just rises up out of the pool by itself. Spooky. So it's like, oh, that's interesting. I can't explain it. They just laugh about it. They all think it's fun and games. We've got a ghost. Isn't that exciting? Night 12. Quest says, I have a heat detector in my kitchen and a smoke detector in my living room. Okie dokie. Actually, I don't know what it is we've got in the kitchen. It might be a heat detector. Cause I very rarely have a smoky kitchen anyway, so it's never gone off. Maybe it doesn't work. A fella comes every now and again to check it. I think every year we get a fella come out and he services the fire because we've got a gas fire and the gas water heater. And the smoke detectors. It checks all them as well. So it must be fine. We've got a carbon monoxide detector as well. Somewhere. I don't know, you can't see it. It's just above the door over there. Anyway, where were we? Right, so where are we now? What's going on now? We'll see the shadow going up the wall. Still not yet. Right, hunters. The dog. Seeing something there. Look, there's no figure there now. It was just pareidolia, but as the shadows change, don't they? I think sometimes you do see things there, but I don't know. There's something that the dog can see. Oh, I wouldn't say where's the dog's reflection. It's there. So maybe the dog can see something, but he obviously can. Hunter thinks it's all hilarious, but then the dog starts barking. Anyway, next day, Daniel's having fun with the pool cleaner. Can't they see anything? Well, they're looking at the pool cleaner. He says, "Come and check this," and the pool cleaner comes bursting out of the water. So, is that his explanation for it? Don't know. as long as it isn't randomly beeping, it's fine. The one at the bottom of our stairs, for some reason, every now and again it'll start chirruping. I think it depends on the weather. I think if the weather gets too warm, you know, we've had these really hot days, it'll start chirruping. And it's really annoying. You've got to press the button to stop it. But when the weather cools down again, it doesn't do it anymore. And we've had, you know, fellas have come out and put new ones up. You know, it's not the battery that's going and all that. But anyway. Right, so she's worried that something's going on, is Christy, but you know, it's not scary yet. There's Hunter's getting all tired, time for his nap. There they are. Yes, he burns himself now, does Daniel. He goes jumping into a swimming pool, swims over, jumps into his hot tub, and it's a bit too hot, and he screams and runs out and jumps back in the pool again. And he's like, he blames Ali, blames his daughter for changing the temperature thing on the hot tub, and or whatever it is. And she said, "No, it wasn't me. It doesn't. You can't set it that hot anyway." She says. So anyway, so he's holding some frozen peas. There we go, against his nether regions, and they're all like, "Hee hee hee! He's burnt his knob." But anyway, so. She's babysitting because they're going out again because they're never in. So Ali's babysitting because remember they've fired Martine, and obviously Katie's not available. So Ali's watching Hunter. So there she is babysitting. I presume Hunter's in bed, and here comes her boyfriend, whose name I've forgotten. Let me check. I've forgotten his name. Brad. Seth Ginsburg as Brad, Ali's boyfriend. He comes knocking on the door. Alright, and they decide, you know, because the kids and the stupid, to do a Ouija board. She'd mentioned it earlier. She said that we should do a seance or something like that. But she's got a Ouija board. Is it the same one that Mika, is it Mika, isn't it? Is it the same one that Mika borrows later, or before, you know what I mean? In the first film, he says he borrows a Ouija board, so maybe he borrows this one. It does look similar, I must admit. Not that you get a good look at it, but it does look similar. Anyway, they all have fun and games. He says, "What do you want?" And it spells out a rude word, and because it's him that's pushing it, so they're all laughing. But then they do it, and it actually spells out Hunter. But she still thinks it's him moving it. Anyway. The dog wakes up. There we go. Is this where we see the shadow going up the wall? Don't know. Nope. There we go. The dog's looking at something by the door. I think something starts dragging Hunter across the cot. Well, it's not yet. She's asleep. Something's going to try and get her. She's asleep. I'm guessing Brad's sodded off now. I'm guessing. And there we go, we see coming out of the cellar, there's a black shadow emerging out of the cellar, heading towards there it is. And just as it touches her, we get a jump scare. There we go. She wakes up. So anyway, so she goes. She hears a noise. She sees that the door's open. The front door's open again. It's like in Shaun of the Dead. So she goes to shut it, and as she's going upstairs, she's going to check on Hunter. She hears somebody knocks on the door, or she hears a noise outside. I think somebody knocks on the door. But only lightly. Pardon me. So she goes and has a look. She checks through that, and then she goes back down and has a look. Nobody there. The door slams shut behind her. There we go. And she can't get back in. It's locked itself or something. So she can't get back in. And anyway, the dog freaks out. He goes checking it. This is where we see something starts dragging Hunter across the cot. Is it now? Or is it in a minute? It's in a minute. The dog's having a look round. She's trying to get in. She can't get in through the patio door. She can't get in. She's locked out and she's freaking out. And anyway, here we go. Something's dragging Hunter across his cot and pulling him up over the cot. Cool. Is it a film I've seen it in, or is it an actual video? I think it's an actual video. You know these ghost videos that are on YouTube. You know, like Nuke's Top 5 and Slapped Ham and all them. Fearsome Top 5, all them. There's one I'm sure that was like a kid balancing on on his cot, like going. Ah! And I thought that happened in this. So we're having a Mandela effect again. Anyway, so there he is. He's out of his cot now, being lifted out of his cot by spooky powers. So he goes wandering round the house, down into the cellar, and then back out again. Oh no, he just opens the cellar door. That's it. He just opens the cellar door, releasing whatever were down there. I'm guessing. I don't know. But up he goes. Does something follow him? Is this where we see the shadow? No, it didn't. Gets back in his cot. I think next time we see him, he's in his cot, I think. But anyway, they get back in. There's Christy and Daniel. And they can hear Hunter crying. He's back in his cot, look. Anyway, well, I still prefer Superstition from 1982. I don't know if I've seen that one. Don't know. Can't remember. Let me look it up. Have we met? Well, I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? It does ring a bell. No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, you've mentioned it before. I think you've told me to watch it. And I've never got round to watching it. Anyway, I'll have to see if it's on Shudder or something. Anyway, so she's checking on him. He's crying. And where's Ali? Where is she? And then she comes in. You know, obviously the door's unlocked now. She said, I didn't know what to do. I was locked out. The door slammed shut behind me. You know, there were a knock and I went and they said, you shouldn't answer the door when you're in by yourself. But there was nobody there. I checked. So, you know, he's freaking out with her. She's freaking out. But obviously she's got to go to the fridge and get, you know, a big thing of orange juice out first, look. Because she's obsessed with orange juice. But anyway. So I don't think she'll be babysitting for him again for a while. But it wasn't her fault, but they're blaming her. Anyway. So, yes, Daniel's got to go and go to work doing his McDonald's in or whatever he does. I don't know. Ali's convinced something's going on now. There's probably supernatural forces at work, so she's been looking up stuff. And there she is. And she's saying it's a demon. It's not a ghost. It's a demon. She says because the internet says so. So she has Brad looking as well. He thinks it's all highly amusing. Right, so she's playing back the security footage to prove to her dad that it wasn't her fault. But he just says it was just wind. A gust of wind blew it shut. So, and he says, stay away from the security footage. Anyway, night 17. Pool cleaner doing its stuff. Hey, are we going to see the shadow going up the stairs yet? No. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe I just imagined it. Maybe I thought it was going to happen. And in my mind it did. Anywho, what's happening here? I don't think we're seeing anything happening yet, are we? Do we hear a bang? I think we hear a bang, don't we? I think something happens. Let's have a listen. We can hear the rumbling. Yes, we can hear, yes, I think we just hear like a commotion, like footsteps and stuff. There we go. She hears it. There's Ali. What time is it? 3 in the morning. Why is she bloody insomniac or something? She must be. She's up at 3 in the morning. I mean, it wasn't exactly a loud bang, was it? Anyway, she goes to check. What's this on? Why is that on covering the door handle? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it's got. There's a reason for it. I don't know. So she goes to see what the noise was, and one of Hunter's toys, is playing by itself down there. There we go. Down in the living room. So she thinks, oh, whatever. And it follows her and it freaks her out. She goes running back upstairs and she's saying, I filmed it here. Look, it was playing itself and all that. But I think Christy says, something happened to me when I were a kid. Is it not on Shudder? Oh, no, never mind. She says, something happened to me when I were a kid, but we don't like to talk about it. That's what she's basically saying. Is this... Oh, Katie's here now. Katie's come visiting with her ample bosom. But this is where she talks about what happened when we were kids. So Katie tells her off and says, I remember when we were kids, you just cried all the time. And it were horrible. So we just got to ignore it because whatever it is, it feeds on our fears. And if you just ignore it, it'll go away. Which is kind of not what happens in Paranormal Activity 3, but never mind. Ali's taking Abby for a walk. So she's all by herself in the house now. Is Christy? Because I'm guessing Katie's buggered off. Yes, this is the bit. This is the big set piece effect in the film. She's wondering about the kitchen, opening and doing stuff, and then as she sits here, drinking her coffee and reading her magazine, the kitchen explodes around her. Any minute now. When it's ready, she hears like little noises and stuff first. There we go. Still got a better one in Paranormal Activity 3, but anyway. I know what I'll be watching tomorrow night. What will we be watching tomorrow night? Something on Shudder? I don't know. But, what happened then? There's a new VHS coming out, isn't there, in October on Shudder? VHS Halloween. I like the VHS films, for the most part. They're kind of found footage, aren't they? Anyway, so there we go. All the cupboard doors in the kitchen all opened all at once. So she kind of freaks out. She goes to check on Hunter. He's fine. She comes back down. Just closes all the cupboard doors and goes upstairs. And Ali, obviously, first thing she does is pick up her camcorder, obviously. I haven't seen the new VHS. I can't remember what the last one was. I think the one came out last year, the year before, didn't it? Was it 1999 or something? I can't remember. The name of it, not the year. Pumpkinhead. No, that's a film I've never liked. I've tried watching it. Well, I have watched it a couple of times. Because everybody raves about Pumpkinhead. I've never been able to get into it. It's one of these weird things. That had been on Monday Morn. Pumpkinhead. People love that film, unless you're called Stephen Johnson. Anyway, she's here doing her makeup, and Ali's asking, are you okay? And says, yes, I'm fine. And then she starts whispering to her, up close to the camera, saying, we're not supposed to talk about it. I've talked with your Auntie Katie, and we're not supposed to talk about it. It'll just make it worse. That's what she says, in a Yorkshire accent, a Yorkshire whisper. Anyway, so she's on the phone to, I think, Brad or whatever, I don't know, but I think this is where she's talking about somebody in the family, in Christie's family, must have made a deal with the devil, because she's done some research, and she says, if you do a deal with the devil, they demand the firstborn male of that family. And she says, what if Christie's great-grandmother made a deal with the devil, but no males have been born on that side of the family since the 1930s, and Hunter's the first. So whatever it is after Hunter. Anyway, night 19, August 25th. Actually, I might be watching The Burning. That was not bad, but I think that's another one that's overrated. People go on about The Burning. The best bit in it is the fingers part. But, anyway. I'm a miserable old curmudgeon, aren't I? But anyway, pool cleaner doing its stuff. Right, did something go? Do we see the shadow? No, see the dog. The dog's heading upstairs. Daniel putting Hunter to bed. Dog looks a bit agitated, doesn't he? But they're saying stay, or she is. Nothing beats deathbed though. Not seen that one. I've never even heard of it. Anyway. Sod it. Friday the 13th, part 2, 3 and 4. Can't go wrong with a bit of Jason Voorhees. Right, so. Off they go. See, the dog's restless. The cellar door opens by itself, basement door. And the dog goes to check on it, does Abby. And does she go in? I don't think she does she? No. But something gets her. We hear her being got by something. Poor Abby gets got by Toby. Obviously, she's awake. She wakes up. What time is it? Let's have a look at the security. It's 12:50, so it's not 3 in the morning. So, but anyway, she goes to check, and they all come down, and Abby's not well, so they take her to the vets, and we never see her again. We never see her again. So they're taking her to the vets, leaving poor Christy by herself in the house with Hunter at 1:21, and we see her on the steps for a while. She keeps phoning up to see how the dog is, but she's very nervous in the house, with good reason, because something bad's about to happen to her. Excuse me, my throat's going. It's in the so bad it's good category. A cursed bed that literally eats people. It sounds ace. It sounds ace. I started watching one actually the other day. I think that's on Shudder. It's on Amazon, but it might be Shudder because I get my Shudder through Amazon. But and I forgot what they call it now. An old 80s horror film. I forgot what it was now. Anyway, never mind. Hey, where were we? Oh, yes. Christie's going to check on Hunter, and this is where she gets dragged down the stairs. There we go. Off she goes. Ah! Gets dragged down the stairs. Ah, look! Ah! Let go of me. Pressing the wrong button. And see, let's go over. But it's still dragging her off. There we go. Down she goes. Down the stairs. And down into the cellar, basement, whatever you want to call it. The door slams shut. And then I think we get a speeded up thing with the clock, I think. Do they speed the clock up? Maybe not. But poor Hunter's awake now. Look, he's heard his mother screaming. What's better, Creepshow or Tales from the Crypt? I'm a Creepshow fan. I never really saw any of the modern Tales from the Crypt series episodes. Or that. I've never seen Demon Night. That was a Tales from the Crypt film, wasn't it? Never seen it. I've seen the old Tales from the Crypt with... I forgot the bloody name now. It was an Amicus film, wasn't it? I think it was Amicus. From the 60s. That was alright. But Creepshow's great. Creepshow is great. And I like Creepshow 2 as well. Creepshow 3's crap. Anyway. Yes, the... whatever it is, the demon is trying to keep Hunter occupied with the mobile. Look, the mobile's freaking out. Anyway. Is this the bit where the speed it up? There we go. The speed up the clock. Bottom right. So, passage of time. And she comes back out. There we go. The door opens and she re-emerges. Standing very stiff. And obviously something's happened to her down there. But we learn she's actually been bitten. Anyway, next day. Stream Boo. Cool. Over on Twitch. That's why I keep doing Twitch, because I like the messages about Stream Boo. Whatever it is. I hope it's nothing naughty. Anyway, where were we? Ali's having a breakfast. Daniel comes in saying, I've got to go to this meeting. Look after Hunter. I've got to go. I've been putting this man off for ages and I've got to go see him. I'll be back in 2 hours. I can't wake up Christy. So anyway, if you need me, phone me. So off he goes. She's like, but what, eh? Anyway, I think she's phoning a boyfriend or whatever, or I don't know. But I think she hears a noise. So there we go. She looks at the cellar. There's a scratching on the back of the cellar door. Mius? Don't know. There's lots of scratching and maybe some blood. And then she goes to check on Hunter, but Christie's sitting there. We see she's got a big bite on her thigh. Round the twist or Erie, Indiana. Not seen either. Yeah, so I think she hears a noise then because something attracts her attention. Yeah, lots of banging and shuffling. And when she goes back, nothing there obviously. When she goes back, Christie's gone. Hunter's freaking out. She picks him up and then she comes in and says, "Put him down," or whatever she says. So she's phoning her dad, saying, "Come home, Dad." Oh, this is the bit where she says she's going up to check on him. And is it this bit? Hang on. Look, poor Hunter's roaring his eyes out, and she goes to check on him, and don't touch him. I go, "Don't touch him," in a kind of, I think, a slightly modulated voice. I think. Anyway. So, she's seen the footage of Christie getting dragged down the stairs, so she shows her dad. And he's like, "Oh my God, something is..." He can't explain that, can he, of her being dragged down by an unseen force. So they get Martine back in. He says, I'm gonna bring her back. So they bring Martine in, and she knows what to do. I don't know why, she just does. She says she gets a cross. There we go. And she coats it in olive oil. And this is supposed to help. Is this a thing? I don't know. Will it work? Could Van Helsing coat his crucifixes in, or his crosses in olive oil, and it'll ward off demons? Don't know. Anyway, so what they've got to do, according to the... Do they say it here? No, they don't. They say it in a minute. He's checking her leg. See that they've got this big bite, and now they're arguing now because what Martina says they've got to do, they've got to transfer the possession, because she's kind of possessed now, isn't she, by the demon? So they've got to transfer it to somebody else. And according to Martine, it's got to be a blood relative, and the only one she's got is Katie. So they're going to transfer the demon over to Katie, and Ali's saying, we can't do that to Auntie Katie. And he says, well, no choice. I'm not going to lose my wife and my baby son and all that stuff. And we're not going to talk about it ever again. And she'll not remember a thing, he says. So that's what they've got to do. So he's going to start doing that. They do this ritual. The lights go out again. And she's disappeared. And so the house, everything's freaking out in the house. He uses his night vision now. So the Hunter's disappeared. Everyone knows Van Helsing used garlic-infused olive oil, more than likely, that he got from Waitrose, because I imagine Van Helsing shops in Waitrose because he's loaded. Like my mate Marie. Anyway, so they're going around the house looking for Hunter and Christie, obviously, but they don't know where she is. So they end up down in the basement looking for her. We do get little glimpses of her down in the basement. Here he comes. Daniel goes down with his camera, tells Ali, you stay up there. So I think when he turns round here, we do get a glimpse of her, a shoulder of her, I think, in a corner. Was that her there? Oh, I'm going too far. She's there, isn't she? I'm sure that's her. Yes, it was. She was there, round the corner, but he didn't notice. But I was too distracted by Kate Beckinsale to know if he did. Oh, that Van Helsing. When anybody says Van Helsing, I always think of Peter Cushing. Not Gabriel Van Helsing, played by Hugh Jackman. Anyway. Right, so he's looking round. I think he gets attacked by a couple of rats down in the basement. But he falls over, there we go, and drops his camera, and Hunter's there. So he goes and collects Hunter up, picks his camera up, and then Christie attacks him. Is this what we're seeing here? Because we get to see her scary face. Here we go. See if we can pause it on her scary face. Is that her there, or is that something else? Oh no, she's here, look. With her scary face, look. Ah! And the sharp teeth. Ah, look, scary, sharp demon teeth. So she attacks him, but he gets her with the olive oil infused crucifix. There it is. It's not a crucifix, it's just a cross, isn't it? And that does the trick, because the whole house starts shaking then, like that. A bit of audio. Like that. The whole house, so presuming that's the demon heading over to San Diego, where Katie lives. Anyway. Shush. Anyway, so that's all freaking out. And then it all calms down. Little Hunter comes waddling into view. And the lights come back on, because the demon's gone. She's asleep. They think that's it, it's over. Martine starts burning the photo. I'm saying it like that because we see it again later. She obviously doesn't watch it burn into a crisp. Anyway, now it says 3 weeks later. There we go, 3 weeks later. Katie's there, saying basically, have you had any weird stuff happening, since the last time when you told me? He says, no, everything's fine now. And, so he says, well, weird things are happening at our house. But anyway, so off she goes, heading back home. There's a nice bit of continuity here, I must admit, because this is in Paranormal Activity 2 where she's heading home. She says, bye, I'm going. She got the same clothes on the same car. And now we're in Paranormal Activity 1 territory now. We're at Katie and Mika's house. Mika's watching telly. And this is Oren Pelly's house. So here he is. He's got a camcorder. Well, a video camera. It's not a camcorder. He's got a video camera. He's quite well off as well. Katie, their family is quite rich. She's a student. But Mika's quite rich. He's quite well off because he's a day trader, on the stocks and stuff like that. So he does quite well. Anyway, so he's bought himself he's the one that's going to be documenting what happens in their house. Anyway, so here she comes. This is the beginning. San Diego, California, September 18th, 2006. Here she arrives in her car. Back from her sister's house. Anyway, so looking super fit. I must admit she is. I'm a Katie Featherston simp. I've only ever seen her in one other thing, apart from Paranormal Activity, and that was, I forgot what they call it. Was it The River? There were a series. I'm going to check it now. There were a series which were kind of a found footage series, which I think were produced by Oren Pelly. And I think it only lasted like half a season or something like that. TV show. I think it was called The River. Isn't it that one? Yes, there we go. The River, 2012 American found footage supernatural action horror. I think she was in this. Why isn't it showing her? I'm sure she was in it. Guest car. Yes, Katie Featherston, there she was. Yes, that's the only other thing I've seen her in. But The River were good, and then it got cancelled, unfortunately. But just as it were getting good and interesting. Which is usually the way. Anyway, right, so here they are, being all in love. She's saying, what's with the camera? Says, well, I'm documenting all this weird stuff that's happening in our house. So everything's cool. He's filming her bum. We get a bit of foreshadowing to the original ending. Or maybe the ending that we don't see. But he's cutting some vegetables or whatever. And he's saying, I'm going to film it all and we'll get to the bottom of it. And then he does a slashing motion. Says, then I'll figure it out. I'll sort it out. Hang on, where is it? Is it this bit? Not yet. That might be before that. Whatever. He does like a slashing motion across his guts. And I think in the original ending, she stabbed him to death. Did Katie? But they changed it. They changed it to the ending we all know. Because there were another version of this film that were going round, which I think I've got somewhere, legally obtained, which was the what they call it, the festival version of it, which had the original ending. And the original ending, they say she murders him, which she does, but we don't see it. We just hear the screams and stuff like that, and then she gets blown away by the police. But they changed it. And Oren Pelly preferred that ending. But anyway. Is he doing? Did he do it then? Right, hang on. There we go, doing that, which is like a foreshadowing of the original ending, I think. Anyway, but I think she still does stab him because we see her at the end. Spoilers. She's got all blood all over her. So anyway, so there he's looking in the camera because it's all fun and games, much like in the other house. Anyway, they are eating some, I don't know, chicken curry or something with rice. I don't know. But they hear a noise. Oh, well, that earlier. Oh, it might be later. She's doing her beads. She does, that's her hobby. She does beads. He's testing out the camera. Anyway. So there's going to be lots of fast forwardings. Not a lot happens in the first one. I think this is where they hear the noise. There we go, they hear the noise. He puts the guitar down. It's the ice machine that's making the noise. And there he's looking at his guitar and his sexy girlfriend. Anyway, there she is, look, being all sexy. I said $500 they were paid. No third wall in these films. Okay. Do you mean fourth wall? Oh, right, yes. Fourth, I mean. It's all fourth wall breaking, isn't it, more or less? Because they're always looking directly into camera. At us. Anywho. Right, so he's still filming her, brushing her teeth or whatever. They're getting set up. It's setting up the camera in the bedroom. Here we got 11:24. And night 1, September 18th, 2006. Nearly 20 years ago. So there they are, asleep. And nothing happens, I don't think, first night. No, it does. We hear some footsteps and stuff, I think. Have a listen. I think we do. That's some banging and footsteps and stuff. And I'm always watching the background here. I think Odd and Pelly missed a trick. If it were me, I'd have been having like shadow figures and stuff moving about, or not every time, but just every now and again. Having something moving about back there, just a shadowy figure, or maybe just something peeking out and bobbing back in, or having the viewers thinking, "Did I just see that?" Because I like that sort of stuff. But anyway, so I said we hear some footsteps, but they don't hear it. And anyway, so he's checking stuff. Oh, she goes downstairs and finds his car keys, or her car keys, or somebody's car keys, in the middle of the floor. No human being would put the keys in the middle of the floor. He's messing about in the pool. There we go, all fun. He was doing his day trading. We learned that they're going to have a psychic visit them. And he's not impressed, is Mika. So he's going to play some spooky music for the psychic. So he's not playing it for some reason. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Going to play some spooky music. He's not taking it seriously, but she's terrified, is Katie. Even though she said earlier to her sister that they shouldn't talk about it. It'll go away if they don't talk about it. But anyway, never mind. So here comes the psychic, who is called, because I can't remember, Dr. Fredericks, played by Mark Fredericks. Everybody's got their actual names, apart from one. Excuse me, because they've gone all Blair Witch, so everybody uses their real names. Well, I think he's actually a paranormal investigator, I think. I'm sure it says that somewhere. Where's my notes? Paranormal Activity 1 notes. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. I can't bloody find it now. Can't blooming find it. I'm sure they said I read somewhere that he's an actual paranormal investigator. Or maybe not. They did use a real paranormal as like a consultant. Oh, here we go. No, see, I'm wrong. The role of Dr. Johan Averies was cast with a real paranormal investigator. I think she mentions him later on, or Averies. But he's never seen in the film. from the independent investigations group Spencer Marks. The role was shot to help explain certain anomalies in the film. The role was predominantly mentioned in the movie, but the footage never used. That's probably what I'm thinking of. I thought it were him, though. Anyway, so here he arrives. So saying, she tells them all the stuff that happened when she were 8. When she were 8 and her sister Christy were 5 in the first house. She used to wake up and there'd be a figure standing at the end of her bed and all this stuff. Don't talk about playing Bloody Mary and is it Bloody Mary? And the stuff happening in the cupboard, the toy cupboard. But anyway, that's in Paranormal Activity 3. Because stuff happened and then the house burnt down and all that. But everybody was fine. Nobody were hurt. But they never found out what caused the fire. But then she says it happened again when she was 13, and now it's happening again now. So he's saying, don't worry about it. If you need anything, I'll come back and all that stuff. He's not really much help, and Mika's not overly impressed with him. But it's saying, don't, because Mika keeps saying, can we get it to do anything? Can we get it to force it to show something for the cameras? And he's saying, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's not a good idea to provoke these things. Anyway, so there he's explaining, what to do and what not to do, etc. Don't provoke it. Don't get a Ouija board, etc. So off he goes. Mika's very dismissive of him, so she's not very happy with Mika. She falls out with him quite a lot in this film. She gets very cross with him. But then she's brushing her teeth. Anyway, so bedtime again. Oh, they're going to do it. And she realises he's still got the camera on. But anyway, right, night 3. Is this the one where the door moves? I think it's the one where the door moves, maybe. There we go. The door moves by itself, and then again. I think we do hear some footsteps as well. Obviously, it doesn't wake them up, but he does see it. There we go on the cameras. He plays it back for her. She's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Sorry, that was me saying that. At Katie Featherstone's impressive assets. I'm a dirty old man, I don't care. Anyway, he hears a scream, he's playing his guitar, he hears a scream, goes running upstairs, there's a spider in the bathroom. So, anyway. So he goes and lets it outside. Because you don't kill spiders, because they keep flies down, except in this house. Anyway. He's checking the door to see if there's any way it could have moved by itself, and he can't find it. The reason why. So he's looking up in this book about demons and stuff, which is an actual book, which is in my notes. I'll see if I can find it. The book which he uses. There we go. The book Mika consults is a 1971 trade paperback from Dover Publications titled Picture Book of Devils, Demons and Witchcraft by Ernst and Johanna Lerner. There you go. So there we go. Cool. I wonder if he got it from that bookshop run by Dick Miller in The Howling. I wonder if he got it from there. The Other Side or something it's called, isn't it? Where you can buy silver bullets. Anyway, I don't like their bedclothes. They're too fleshy coloured, I presume it's like peach or something, I don't know. But I don't know, it looks like a tarpaulin or something. Anyway, so she's terrified. But they keep hearing noises in the night because they're investigating banging noises and stuff. Night 5. She just wakes up out of a sleep. And we hear the rumbling. I said, if I were on, I'd have had stuff moving about back here. Just flitting about. or just peeking in and out, or I'd have had some. Maybe there is, and I just didn't notice. But anyway, there goes, she wakes up. It's like, oh, crikey. Anyway, did they hear a noise? Is there a bang then? It sounds like it, doesn't it? I can't remember. Let's have a listen. Yes, banging noises. So they go to investigate, and I don't think they find the cause of it. She's terrified. And they basically they sit up probably for the rest of the night. Then she's doing beads with her friend. I forgot her name. I think it's Amber. Looking at the wrong one. Where are we? Come on, cast. Where are you? Yes, Amber. Played by Amber Armstrong. See her a couple of times in the film. But yes, is when she woke up in the from her. I think she said she heard somebody say her name or something like that. So he's listening to the audio recordings, and he says he can hear something, but he doesn't know what it is. He says it doesn't sound like it sounds like a voice, but it doesn't sound like a language, or it doesn't sound like an animal. He can't explain it. It's just like a sort of noise that he can hear, but he can't explain it. Just before she woke up. Anyway, shut up. What's happening now? I think he's provoking it. I think he's going around saying, do something. And obviously it doesn't. Right, so they're asleep again now. What happens this time? Can't remember. She wakes up. Do they hear noises? I've forgotten. Is this the one where the light fittings swinging? I don't know. But yeah, it is. Yes, it is. As I said, it starts off slowly. But obviously they don't find anything. It's just all creepy. They're just hearing banging and footsteps and stuff like that. There is he's listening through the floor to see if he can hear anything. But anyway. Right, so get up. Looking worse for wear. It's bloody horrible covers, aren't they? It looks like a thing from like an horror film. I know it is a horror film, but there should be like a dead body on that. It looks like something from Alien or something. There should be... Or that film, Fire in the Sky, where he gets abducted by aliens and he's underneath that. He's underneath a sheet like that, isn't he? When he's abducted by aliens. But anyway, I'm waffling. Right, so it's trying to explain the noises, the aircon and all that stuff. But no, he's going around now with his microphone, doing a bit of EVPing, electronic voice phenomena, asking stuff. He uses a line from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I think it is, where he's, what is your quest? What is your favourite colour? But he does get a reply, because I think it's the what is your quest question. Obviously, he's using, is it what do they call it now? I forgot the name of the programme. Not Audible, that's books, isn't it? Audacity. Is he using Audacity? Have I muted it again? When we get to it. We can see where it says it. It just looks like a growl.
Hey, huh?
You have your talk with the Ouija board?
Whoa.
Oh, let's really ask about a Ouija board. That's it. Should we try a Ouija board? And then he hears a growl. So it's like, ooh, that's cool. Anyway, night 15. She wakes up, and this is where she stands there for like an hour, 2 hours or something like that, just staring. And then she wanders off downstairs, and then he wakes up. Like, where's she gone? And he doesn't know where she is. And she's gone outside for some reason. She's outside on the swing, just sitting there. She doesn't want to go back in. But anyway, so I'll go get you a blanket. And then while he's backing out, he hears a bang from upstairs. So he goes running upstairs. The TV's come on by itself. So he's like, what's going on? And when he turns around, she's there. She's like, what you doing? So she's properly woke up now. So she gets into bed. And he's playing it back to her. She did, and she says, I have no recollection of that, which is like me most days, just in general. I have no recollection of doing that. But so that freaks her out. Anyway, so he says he'll protect her. Anyway, so he's got a a Ouija board. He had promised earlier, because he did mention it earlier when Amber were there. He says, I'm thinking of getting a Ouija board and you know, doing a seance or whatever, or doing a Ouija board session. And they said, no, don't do it. And she says, Katie says to Mika, you know, promise me you'll not get a Ouija board. And he goes, yes, I promise I will not buy a Ouija board. Anyway, so is he borrowed this off Ali? Is this the same Ouija board that Ali used in the other film? I'm going to say yes. So here he is. They're actually going out in like a few minutes, so he's just decided to get this out now, and she freaks out. Does Katie? She's not happy. She's screaming at him, saying, "You promised me," you know. And keep muting. I don't even want it here. So anyway, so okay, whatever. We're going out. So out they go. But he leaves his camera running, thankfully. And not long after they've gone, we start hearing footsteps and stuff from inside the house, and then we get a breeze blowing through the room, and then the planchette starts moving by itself, and then the Ouija board sets on fire, which is quite a good effect. I must admit, it is quite a good effect when it does it. There we go. It is quite good. I don't know how they did that, but Hollywood magic. And then I presume it just goes out, yeah. Anyway, so later, I think they do. Does it? Yeah, it spins on. I think. Oh no, it just fades out and back in again. They come back in. They see, oh, what's happening here? It's all burnt, and she's still not happy with him. She's saying, I don't care, get it out. And we see that there's weird markings, as though there's like weird finger marks on the Ouija board. It says, I think something's written a message on it, but we never find out what it is. But she's not happy. She's still in a bad mood. She's saying, get that out of the house. You know, she tells him to get out of the room. He's sleeping on the couch, obviously. And then later, she's still not happy. And now he's got to obey her rules, is what he's doing now. I promise to obey Katie's rules and not to provoke whatever the entity is in this house. That's what he's doing there. And then they go to sleep. And she gives him a kiss, and then they cuddle. And so there we go. Anywho, he's trying to work out now what it spelt out. When we saw the planchette moving, he's trying to work out what it spelt out. And he's not sure. He says it could be various things, but the one that makes most sense is Diane, and we do see somebody called Diane later in the film. So there's a goodbye, Diane. But she doesn't know. But she just says, I don't want that thing in the house. So I presume he gets rid of it. I don't know. I thought he burnt it, but he burned something else later. Anyway, she's with Amber. Boozing. She wants to call a demonologist, the fellow that we mentioned earlier, Dr. Avery's. She wants to call him and get him to come in. But he says, you can do your little experiments and your cameras, but I want this demonologist to come. So she says, okay, whatever. But he's doing a thing with the talcum powder now. He's putting talcum powder down. See if they can catch whatever's moving about in the house. So anyway, so off they go to sleep. And night 17. And I think they gets to like 3:15-ish a.m. And we hear footsteps in the house. I think a light might come on. Does it? Maybe. Or is that later? There we go. They hear footsteps. And we don't see anything here because you can't see from me anyway. But behind me, when they put the light on, there's footprints. But we do see them form later when he re-watches it. There we go. We see there's footprints on the floorboards, and they're like reptilian footprints with just 3 toes, which we never see again. Talcum powder. Couldn't make this today. I don't know. We've got some talcum powder in the bathroom that's probably never been used in like 30 years. Never use it. Got all dust on top of it. Anyway, will it still work? I imagine. I don't know. Anyway, why couldn't he make this today? Is talcum powder not allowed or something? I don't know. But we've still got some in the bathroom. But it's called baby powder. It's Johnson's baby powder. Or is it Cussons? It might be Cussons. Anyway, right, so what we're saying, 3 toes, like it looks like reptilian, demon toes. But when we see the demon later on in the series, they call it Toby and all that, it's kind of, a person. Doesn't have feet like that anyway. Doesn't have 3 toes, I don't think. But, so they're kind of freaking out over that. Oh, what the bloody hell? And then we see more of the footprints, and we see where they begin. They come from, it seems like, the attic. There it is, or the loft, or whatever you want to call it. I think they banned it here for cancer. All right. I've no idea. Shall we look it up? Quest probably already knows, because he's a font of all knowledge, is Quest. Talcum powder UK. You can still get. Hang on. Is talcum powder safe to use? I don't know. It's probably, yeah. You can still get talcum likes. I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can get actual talcum powder, but that's what they call it, don't they? Get, like I said, baby powder, can't you, and stuff. But it says there, talcum powder sold in the UK is not considered safe by some authorities due to potential asbestos contamination. That's according to AI, but I don't know. Anywho, talc is considered safe here. I think they changed it. Whatever. They opened up the talcum mines again. Anyway, right, so the loft. Let's to go up into the loft. See that the panel for the loft is ajar. So he goes and has a look. And this is where he finds the photo. There, gets the step ladders out. Because if you want me, step ladders are its shed. I want me going outside its shed. But there we go. He's looking around and he sees something. There we go. He sees something there in the distance. I wouldn't have noticed that. I'd have been looking around and said, "There's nothing up here apart from proper dodgy, really badly laid insulation." But anyway, he sees that and he goes to get it, and it turns out it's the photo from before. I'm going to show it in a minute when he gets down. There we go. It's the photo of Katie as a kid that we see being taken in Paranormal Activity 3. And obviously we saw Martine burning it earlier on, didn't we? But she obviously didn't hang around, and somehow it's magicked itself into their loft. So, and remember, she didn't see the photo before, did Katie? It was Christy that saw it, wasn't it? But anyway, so she's kind of freaking out. I imagine they cleaned up all the talcum powder. She's worried about this photo. But she wants this demonologist to come, but he can't because he's out of the country. So Dr. Fredericks is going to come back. Anyway. He's watching. We see the footprints appear. Look. Ooh, look. We see him appearing on the floor. Which I think he did with masking. I think this was actually edited in because on the DVD I think there's a commentary. I think there's an audio commentary. Yes, there is. I think he said this was edited in Sony Vegas. I thought, oh, cool, I use that. So use that masking effects to do the footprints appearing. Anyway, so obviously, they're kind of getting worried now. They know there is something in the house, but she wants to get in touch with this demonologist, but he's not around, so Dr. Fredericks is coming. Anyway, there we go. Lights are coming on by themselves. The door slams shut by itself. So, anyway. So they're going checking stuff out. Obviously, nothing's happened. There's nothing there, But... Anyway, she wants to leave. It says, we'll be fine. So they're basically just there, staying up all night, not getting any sleep. She's not looking worse. Well, she's looking worse for wear, isn't she? Anyway, there's some more banging. There we go. So they go and check it out. Obviously, everything's okay, but apart from the photo. They've got a photo, like in the other house. Christie's got a photo of them on the wall. It doesn't look like Katie Featherston, that, though, does it? It looks more like Linda Lusardi. You remember her? Quest, doesn't it? But anyway, we see that the photo has been damaged on Mika's face, and he's got scratches on his face. Obviously, the demon doesn't like him, does it? Anyway. Yes, and she says she can feel it because it's there. By the way, it's daytime, if you notice. It's happening in daytime, and we see that something blows by her. So they go running off. I feel it breathing on me. So they go running off. And he's freaking out a bit. Is Mika? I think he's like saying, "Leave us alone." Quest says, "Damn, my mug is empty. Need coffee. Go and get some coffee. Stat." I won't. I'll just sit here and not do anything. I'll have a drink of water while you get some coffee. Anyway, where were we? So he's looking round. He's saying, "Leave us alone, whatever you are." Anyway, so here comes Dr. Fredericks, and he's saying, "Oh, you've done something, haven't you? You've stirred it up. It doesn't like that I'm here. I can't stay here. I've got to go. Dr. Avery's will be back in a couple of days. He'll sort you out." And basically that's it. He buggers off then. So I'm sorry, I can't stay in this house. And she's like, "No, don't go." But I think he does. So she's all upset. Look, she's all upset. It's poor Katie. Anyway, night 19. Is this where we see the shadows? We never saw the shadow, by the way, did we? In the other film, going up the. I must have imagined it. I'm sure that you see a shadow, but you do see a shadow in this one, but maybe not here. Is this the one part with the? Yes, this is the part with the sheets billowing up by themselves. Look, ooh, and how they did that. But anyway, and then I think we hear a voice say something, and she wakes up. Oh, look, a light goes on, and something is going to. Obviously, there's a little imp or something is here, and it's going to whisper something to her. Any minute now. Light's gone off. I think it does. Oh, shadow. Just noticed it there. You see the shadow there. Go across the door. There it goes. Ooh, I wonder who did that shadow. I wonder if it's Oren Pelly. Come on, when does it say something to her? Because it wakes her up. There we go. There we go. Growls at her or something, doesn't it? Wakes her up. Anyway, they're still terrified. I think is it now? I see that happen. I think she says, we'll go to a hotel, or maybe that's later. No, that's later, isn't it? Because we've got some other stuff to happen first. Mika's been researching on the internet. This is where he finds about Diane. Where does it say? Trying to. Is it gonna? The Diane Mercer possession. There we go. Where in the 60s, he says, and Diane Mercer was possessed, and stuff happened to her. The same stuff that has happened to Katie. So basically scaring her. It's obviously based on the. I forgot her name now. Oh, what they call her now? Annalise. I can't remember her name. But she's German or something like that. Famous, real life possession. They based the film. The possession of Emily. Is that what they call it? Possession? No, it doesn't sound right. Yeah, possession of Emily Rose. Exorcism of Emily Rose. They based that film on that, didn't they? And it was like they based this little website on that as well. That she got possessed, and it shows some scary pictures. So anyway, then she gets cross with him again because she's trying to do her studying because she's a student, remember. Then she gets cross with him and tells him to, bugger off. And then they're rowing again, and he says, "Well, I didn't bring this thing into the house. You did." He says, "Oh, that's that." And then he finds her sobbing. There we go. Have I pressed a button? I've pressed the button on it, so now it's doing it. It's playing back slowly. For Pete's sake. Let me see if I can find it. Where are we? The playback speed. There's a playback speed thing there. There's the video track. No, don't say, does it? What you doing, princess? I can hear you doing things. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I've pressed a button. Which button have I pressed? I don't know. I don't know which button. Is it that one? I don't know. It's playing back slowly and I don't know why. Just bear with me. I'll just take it off a minute. Just bear with me while I sort this out. Shush. Stop playing. Playback rate. Yeah, I put it to half for some. How did I do that? I have no idea. Right. There we go. So he consoles her and says, "I'm sorry," and all that stuff. And right, night 20. This is where she gets dragged out of bed. We see the shadow again. But there we go. There goes the shadow. I've gone past it. There we go. There goes the shadow. I was watching it thinking, are these Katie's shadows we're seeing? They're like premonitions of what's going to come later. But I don't know. Or is it just the shadow of the demon? I don't know. But there we go. She gets dragged out of bed. There we go. And dragged down the corridor screaming. The door slams shut. Mika goes after her. Gets hold of her. We're all screaming and shouting and pulls her back in. And they're all like, "Oh, crikey." So this is where it says, "We're going to go stay in a hotel." So, before they go, shows that she's got a bite. Much like Christy had that bite on her leg, she's got a bite on her back. Anyway, they're going to go and stay in a hotel. So he goes and makes some arrangements or whatever, and packs a bag. But when he comes back down, she's sitting there with a cross in her hand, looks much like the cross that were in the other film, doesn't it? That were infused with olive oil. But she's got all blood on her hands and blood on her leg as well. So he's like, "Oh, I've had enough of this." So anyway, he takes her upstairs and burns the crucifix for some reason, or the cross. It shows it there. Look. Don't know why he felt the need to do that. I thought he burnt the Ouija board as well, but maybe not. Anyway, she's in bed now. She's saying, "No, we don't want to go. We should stay here. I feel much better now. It's better if we stay." And then she speaks in a spooky voice. He's saying, "I don't know what's going on," and he storms out, and then she lies there.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but this is insane.
Yeah. And then, when he goes out, she has the modulator voice to it. It sounds like, double speaking, two people talking at once. In a minute. I'm definitely going to get a copyright claim for this.
I think we'll be okay now.
There we go. Think we'll be okay now. Want some candy? So now we know that all is not well with Katie. Anyway, I think this is the last night now. Night 21, October 8th. She sits up, bolts upright, gets out of bed, stands and stares for a bit. There we go. She makes the covers on Mika go off. So I was saying, I think the shadows we saw earlier, were they Katie's shadows? Like a premonition of her shadows. Anyway, she goes round the bed and watches him for a while. We get the speeded up. There we go, speeded up clock. She just stared at him for a while. And this just walks out of the room, goes downstairs, and just starts screaming her head off. We just hear this terrifying screaming. I muted it, didn't I? Like that. So he goes running down, and then we hear Mika scream, or like just go, "Oh my God!" and then silence, and I think she stabbed him. And And then it all goes quiet, and then we hear thumping coming up the stairs, thumping footsteps, and then Mika comes back, back at the camera, and Katie appears with blood on a t-shirt, vest, whatever it is. So I think she's supposed to have stabbed him. That's it. But earlier on, he did the knife motion. Earlier on, I think it's that's happened to him. So she's killed him. She's killed Mika. This is where she does the look to camera. This is what Steven Spielberg said should be added. There you go. When her scary face comes on, and that's how the film ends. But it's not over for us. It's not over for us. You're all going to die down here. Oops, that's Resident Evil. Yes, it is. The Red Queen. Is it Red Queen? Something like that. I heard that the scream was the original ending. The original ending was she murders Mika. You don't see it, you just hear it all. There's all this screaming and stuff. And she murders Mika. Then the police arrive. You hear sirens and stuff. You start seeing the blue flashing lights of sirens. And then you hear the police enter and say, oh, she's got a knife or something like that. And then you just hear gunshots, I think. You just hear gunshots. And that's the end. But, yeah. In the what they call the festival version, which I have got somewhere, and I don't know where I've put it. I might have thrown it out. I might have had it on a disc and thrown it out because I got rid of loads of old discs. Anyway, continuing on. There we go. October 9th, 2006. We're back at the Ray residence. Remember, they're all back to normal now at the Ray residence. Have they got their dog back? No idea. Don't know what's happened to Abby the dog. We don't see it. I don't think we do anyway. But Daniel's there on the couch, presumably watching telly. Do we see the shadow here? No, I don't. I'm obsessed. I'm sure we see a shadow going up there at some point in this film. Hunter's there awake. Pool cleaner doing its stuff. But when we get the reverse view any minute now. There we go. We see Katie's there. Anyway, he hears a noise. There's Daniel. Looks round, and obviously she's gone. Christie's checking on Hunter. Katie breaks Daniel's neck. By the way, Ali is out. Ali's out with friends or whatever, or at boyfriends or whatever. But there we go. She murders Daniel, heads upstairs. Is this where we see the shadow? No, it did. And she just comes in, just throws Christie and Hunter, there we go, into the camera. She likes throwing people at cameras, doesn't she? But we see her eyes are kind of dark, aren't they? She picks up Hunter. In one version, I don't know if they actually shot it, but I think in the original ending for the second one, she actually kills Hunter as well. Like breaks his neck or something. And they decided against that. And I don't know if they actually shot it or not. I don't know. But anyway, she takes him. She takes Hunter, which leads us into the fourth film, into the fourth film. Anyway, so off she goes, and there we go. And that's how that ends. Mika Sloat's body was discovered by police on October 11th. So he was lying there because this is October 9th. We were there for a couple of days, wasn't it? Ali returns from a school trip and found the bodies of Christie and Daniel Ray on October 12th. We see Ali again. She pops up again in the fourth one, doesn't she? I think it's the fourth one. Or is it marked ones? I can't remember. But she does pop up again, does Ali? They learn about this stuff that's gone on. And they go talk to her. I can't remember which one it was now. I'm going to have to watch them all again. I am. But she does appear again. But we never see the dog again, fortunately. Katie and Hunter's whereabouts remain unknown. But if you watch the other films, you'll find out. But there we go. That's the end of Paranormal Activity 1 and 2. So there we go. That was fun, wasn't it? That's the end. The third one is a prequel again, where, as I said, in the robbery that happens in Paranormal Activity 2, it said The only thing that were taken were a necklace. But then we learn at the beginning of Paranormal Activity 3, they show that scene again, and a box of tapes, videotapes, had been taken. And that's what we see in Paranormal Activity 3, is it's those tapes. Somebody's edited them together as a movie. And it is really good, I really like Paranormal Activity 3. It's really good. But that's set in is it like 1989 or something like that? It's late 80s, or maybe 1990, I can't remember. I'm sure it's the 80s. Where this fella has super high-def cameras in the 80s. But he still is good. He's got a great thing with the camera on an oscillating fan. So with a sheet ghost and all that stuff. It's really good. And a good thing in the kitchen. The second one, all the kitchen cupboard doors open. And in the third one, they do better than that, don't they? I won't spoil it. Anywho, right, so there we go. We'll leave it there. Right, so yeah, go watch them. Go and watch all the Paranormal Activity films except for the last one. Ghost Dimension's not great, but it's still fun. And the marked ones is really good. It's a little bit like what they call that film now? I forgot what they call it now. That was a found footage film about kids with superpowers. The marked ones is a little bit like that. Pardon me. But obviously they haven't got superpowers. It's like demons doing stuff. Paranormal Entity. I've got some of those as well. They were the Asylum version, weren't they, of Paranormal Activity. They're not bad. Chronicle, yes, that's the one, yes. That's the Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, is a little bit like Chronicle, where they think they've got superpowers, but they haven't. And it obviously all goes wrong by the end. But, yeah, watch them all. I'm sure they're on streaming. Unless you're in Britain, and then Paranormal Activity isn't. And I don't know why, which is weird. Unless it's like on Apple or something like that. Let's have a look, see if we can find it. Where can I watch Paranormal Activity 1 on streaming in the UK? Question mark. No, you can't. The AI overview says you can watch Paranormal Activity on streaming services in the UK by renting or buying it from platforms such as Amazon Prime Video. No, you can't. I've checked. It's not there. Apple TV. Maybe you can. I don't know. Google Play Movies. I haven't checked that. Do you think that'd be the same as YouTube, wouldn't you? Because Google owns YouTube. You can't get it on YouTube either. Maybe it's on Apple. I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm going to check now. Apple TV. Let's have a look. Might not let us. I'm not a member. Can I still search? Paranormal Activity. I don't think it's going to be there. No, it ain't. No results. So you can't watch it on Apple TV. I don't think it is available. Never mind. Was the marked ones the one where they travel to all the houses, kind of like they're doing Boogeyman? Yeah. It's like it becomes a time travel thing at the end, doesn't it? It gets all weird. So there's a lot of going backwards and forwards in time, isn't they? Going to different places. They go to Mika's house, Mika and Katie's house, and I think they go to like the parents of Katie and Christie's house. They're on Paramount Plus in the UK. Well, they're not on Amazon, and you can get Paramount Plus through Amazon, can't you? Unless they've changed it since I bloody did the thingamabob. Because I've got Paramount Plus on Amazon. Right, let me look. Subscriptions. There, I'll click on Paramount Plus and search Paranormal Activity. No. Get second one, third one, fourth one, the marked ones, Ghost Dimension, and next of kin. But no Paranormal Activity 1. Not that I can see. Nope. Not through Amazon anyway. And I think you can get Paramount Plus through Amazon, and it's not showing it there. So But I ain't got Paramount Plus by itself, so I don't know. Which is the one that happens at your house? That's Our Night of Terror, which is on my website, mercuryrapids.co.uk. Go into articles and look for Our Night of Terror. But that wasn't this house, that was a different house. Anywho, right, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. We're all done and dusted. What's next, you might ask? What day? On Friday. On Monday. Oh, squeaking. On Monday, for Magnificent Mondays, next week, we're doing Cocaine Bear. Yay! Which is fun. Not on Netflix. Quest asks. I think I did check. I'll have a look again. Pardon me. I think I did check on Netflix, but I'll have a look again. I don't think it's on here. Nope. We don't have Paranormal Activity, but you might like Star Trek Voyager, Raw, 28 Days Haunted, The Conjuring. Put Voyager and Raw for... Oh dear. No, it's not. You just have to, fire up your VPN and uTorrent or whatever they call it, or something like that, and find it that way. I need to get over this Strange New Worlds hump and actually make a video. Yes, you've been very lax these last couple of weeks, Win Grace. But anyway, nope. You know what? That film Nope, I know you're not on about that, but that film Nope could have been amazing, but it wasn't. It was okay, but, could have been better. It was like an episode of The Twilight Zone just stretched out into a film, wasn't it? And it shouldn't have been. Anyway, so that's what's happening next Monday. We're doing Cocaine Bear. Next Friday, I'm not sure yet. I will check and see if there's like any anniversaries of films for next week. And if there isn't, we're going to do... I don't know if this is a horror film. It does have horrific bits in it. But... So this is the provisional film for next Friday, The Box, which I think is really, really good. I really like that film. With Frank Langella. I always pronounce it Langella. But and others. So there we go. So that might be next Friday, or it might not. We will see. Right, so we'll leave it there. Hang on. Win Grace, not been watching Alien Earth or Wednesday Season 2. I've still got to watch Wednesday Season 2. I quite liked Season 1. I got around to watching Season 2. Alien Earth, terrible start. Those first 2 episodes were bloody awful. But episodes 3 and 4, I did quite enjoy, to be honest. I thought they were okay. And next week's episode, or this week's, or whatever, next week's, actually looks quite good. It looks like it's we're going back to see what happened on the Maginot, aren't we? But anyway... That's by the by, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace and Quest. I don't think anybody else popped in, did they? Apart from Stream Boo. But, no, I think that was it, wasn't it? No Justin tonight, and no Josh Temple. Must be busy. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. Hang on. Alien Earth looks to be picking up now. Yes, now we're halfway through. Never watched Season 1, or in matter of Wednesday. I didn't watch Alien Earth because TOYG said it sucked. The first 2 episodes did. The first 2 episodes were bloody awful. Holiday weekend over here, is it? Oh, no, we had ours last week, didn't we? Our summer bank holiday we had last week. What is it? What is it over there? What's your holiday? I'm gonna have to look it up now. American holidays. What you got then? Does it tell us? There's a thing there. What date are we on? Oh, doesn't say there. Oh, it's for 2021. That's no bloody good, is it? 2025. Where are we? Oh, Labour Day, 1st of September. Which is Monday, isn't it? Is it? Labour Day. So what's that for? What's Labour Day for? Is it just for the workers of America? I've no idea. Labour Day is a federal holiday in the United States celebrated on the first Monday of September to honour and recognise the American labour movement and the works and contributions of labourers to the development and achievements in the United States. So they give you a day off work. Oh dear. Oh yeah, Labour Day. This from someone that liked Rebel Moon. I couldn't say I liked it. I thought we're okay. I thought we're okay with Rebel Moon. I never watched the others. I don't think. Did I? Did I see the second one? Yeah, I watched the second one. I haven't watched the director's cuts. No interest in it. That's how much I liked Rebel Moon. I can't even be bothered watching the director's versions of them, the extended ones with more gore and sex and violence in. But never mind. Which is, I'm like a moth to the flame for that stuff, but not with Rebel Moon, I want. Maybe one day. They're not going anywhere. They're on Netflix, aren't they? Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. So, thanks for watching. Hang on. The Snyder cut my eyes out cut. Snyder cut my eyes out cut. Oh, right. Yeah, the Snyder cut my eyes out cut. Yes. I still see the Rebel Moon toys lining the shelves. Did they make toys of it? I have no idea. No idea. Right, I'm going now, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. As I said, thanks Quest and Wingrace, keeping me company on this American holiday weekend. I'm going to bugger off now and get something to eat because I'm pig and starving. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Don't have nightmares, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.